Brooklyn Independent Television.
Hey you guys, welcome back to another episode of BK4Reel. I'm Wilbenson.
I'm Monica.
And I'm Siddiq.
And today we are in Red Hook, where the folks from Red Hook Flicks are screening the 1998 vampire hit, Blade.
The first film was from the Packer Collegiate Institute, telling the story of Freewalkin, a made-up dance craze from back in the day. Don't miss it.
All right, is it focused? Is it recording? Okay.
So tell me, what is freewalking?
Freewalking is, it's not like parkour. It's not any of the free running. It's not one objective, trying to get to one objective or another. It's the spirit. It's spirit in your feet. It's a passion.
Do you prefer to free walk by yourself or with others?
Well, you know, back in the day when free walking was at its prime, I used to have a group I used to free walk with, you know. We used to call us the 8 Musketeers.
Just 3 MCs and 1 DJ, and we be getting down with no delay.
And I know there's only 3 Musketeers usually, but I mean, it was a different age back then.
So what is the free walking scene like these days?
You know, they have all this gear and stuff, you know. They have free walking shoes. They have free walking elbow pads so that they don't cut their precious elbows in the cement. Free walking's dead.
So, I saw you and your friends free walking earlier. What can you describe the new style of free walking?
So first off, it ain't free walking anymore. It's crack hopping. Crack hopping was what's up. In crack hopping, you stay off the ground. Free walking, you gotta keep your feet on the ground. Crack hopping is the new. It's real, man. You bouncing, you bouncing, you bouncing. We ain't doing. I'm starting a new crack hopping crew, anyways, though. Serious?
Yo.
Interrupting me when I'm talking about my new craft? Are you serious, man? Anyway, get him out of here. Anyways, so, what am I talking about? I was talking about crack hopping.
We use this thing called rock stepping, where we just plant feet. We try to get to every rock as fast as possible. I can't do it now. One time I broke my back on that. My spinal cord just had to get surgery from it.
So, sir, can you describe crack hopping for me?
Basically, there's one main principle. You can't never touch the cracks. You gotta stay over them. Jump from place to place, incorporating as many different martial arts at the same time. It's live, man, it's live. What are you doing? What are you looking at? What are you doing?
Could you show us how to free walk?
It's been years, but I can show you a thing or two.
Wait, sir! Wait! Wait! Sir! 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 What are you doing?
What is this?
What?
What is this?
We want to interview you. What are you doing?
Never heard of this?
No? What is it?
It's Floridian long stepping, my son. Do you know what free walking is?
You mean Floridian long stepping?
This is long stepping business? It ain't safe. You're in a kid's game, son. You gotta step. You gotta swag. You gotta move. You gotta move quick. You got a long step. You got a Floridian long step.
Forget about that girl. Everyone knows what free walking is, trust me. Like,
Are you talking about crack walking? Oh my god, that's like all the rage right now. Yo, hold this. Let's get you on quiet.
Amazing! What dexterity! What finesse! car?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
How you doing here? So you scuffed up your knees.
Trying to free walk.
Yeah, I think it's dead. Did you hear? Floridian long step is where it's at.
You're a long stepper? Cramping my step, you?
Yo, turn off the camera too. Just turn it.
I really do not like long steppers.
Yo, have you seen this? Yeah, hold on. Maybe because Brazilian crab was stepping.
What is that?
Sir, can I bother you for a question? Oh, wait, do you mind? So, oh, no, you could say right there. Have you ever heard of free walking?
Yes, I have, but I prefer Brazilian crab stepping.
So, do you know if any of your old crew is still around?
I don't think anyone's really around. Actually, you know what? Pew Stevenson from Oakley's around. Yeah, I think he lives out here. He was the chillest guy, you know? He was just like generally a sweet person. Yeah, oh, actually, that's weird. That's him right there, walking over there.
You want to go talk to him? Hey, Pew. You know a Sam Wadsworth?
No.
Pew,
I don't want to talk about a Sam Wadsworth.
Pew, we know you know Sam Wadsworth.
Don't bring that name.
Pew, Pew. So, do you have any final words on free walking?
Yeah, I do. Free walking is great, you know, but I think all of the type of street performance in general, like aside from all the rivalries, I think that from free walking to Brazilian crab stepping, Floridian long stepping to crack hopping, it's all beautiful, you know. It's kind of something else, but free walking is still the best, but it's great.
Our next film up is a documentary also from Packer Collegiate Institute. It tells the story of the Gowanus Canal. Enjoy.
Oh, Brooklyn, Brooklyn, take me in. Are you aware of the shape I'm in? My hands, they shake, my head, it spins. Oh, Brooklyn, Brooklyn, take me in.
The Gowanus Canal lies in an urbanized wetland and drains the westernmost watershed in Long Island. Canalized in the mid-19th century for industrial and warehouse development, it became one of the most polluted sites in the nation and a paradigm for urban degradation.
The Gowanus Canal is very polluted from historic uses along the site. So there were oil and gas companies that manufactured and energy products, and there were paint companies that were along the edge of the canal, and they polluted the groundwater, and they polluted the sediment underneath the water in the canal and in some of the neighboring areas. That pollution exists, and it's under the soil, or it's in the landscape. At the same time, there are combined sewer outlets that feed into the canal. And New York City is one of 772 cities in this country that have combined sewer systems, where sanitary sewers and storm sewers are combined when you get excess rain. And New York City has grown to a degree that it doesn't take a huge amount of excess rain in order to get these overflows to happen.
The main point of focus for our organization is stormwater management, and the reason for that is that in New York City we have what's called a combined sewer system, meaning that our sewage and our stormwater are conveyed in the same pipes. Because we have a combined sewer system, our stormwater and our sewage fall downhill, and they move slowly to our sewage treatment plants, which during dry weather they have no problem handling, digesting, and treating our sewage. But when it rains, if you can imagine how built up New York City is, all of the what we call impermeable surface areas, all of the materials like asphalt streets, concrete sidewalks, rooftops, anywhere that water lands on an impervious surface where it can't be absorbed, it just runs straight to the nearest drain into the sewer system. And with a watershed like the Gowanus Canals, which is 1,800 acres, if you can imagine a quarter inch of rainfall landing on that surface, all the impermeable surfaces, that very quickly translates into millions of gallons of water. And our sewage treatment plants just can't hold it. They can't process it because that's just such a huge volume, and it costs so much money to build these giant holding tanks. So we have an emergency overflow system, which allows the mixed sewage and stormwater to dump into the Gowanus Canal. And every year, on average, 300 million gallons of combined sewage and stormwater are dumped into the Gowanus Canal. So as you can imagine, that is one of the biggest environmental problems that we're facing, and that's why our organization is focused primarily on stormwater management.
And then I think there are a number of other health issues as well. You know, people do like to fish in the canal, and people, you know, ride canoes along the canal, and people want to use it as like a recreational spot. And so cleaning it up is pretty important if you don't want to have any adverse health effects.
Being aware that you shouldn't have your children go down and put their feet in the water, because there is a lot of bad things in the water and in the soil. So one of the things that I think the community should be very aware of is that if you have a garden in your backyard in the Gowanus area, the plants in that garden are potentially pulling those toxins into the fruit that you might eat. And that's dangerous, right? Because, you know, there's lead, there's cadmium, there's nickel, there are PCBs, there are volatile organic compounds, and all of these things are bad for you.
It worries me that the chemicals are in the Gowanus Canal because people live around here.
And the watershed basically includes the neighborhoods of Park Slope, Carroll Gardens, Gowanus, some of Sunset Park, a bit of Red Hook, but all the areas that are basically between Prospect Park, Atlantic Avenue, and Court Street.
Tiles from people's houses, and we're finding all this plastic and wire, and it was crazy how much garbage we found. And it made me think, if this is just one little section, what about the whole world? What about the ocean?
If we're environmentally conscious right now, then it'll make it easier on ourselves, so we don't have to do this in the future when we're old and crippled. Or maybe just old.
Oh, Brooklyn, Brooklyn, take me in. Are you aware of the shape I'm in?
The final film is a selection from a documentary by Educational Video Center. A team of high school students from New York City collaborated to make a film about NYPD's controversial stop and frisk policy. Check it out.
respect us. They don't listen. They don't care who you are, what you doing. If you young African American or Hispanic, they gonna stop you and frisk you for no reason whatsoever.
My experience, it haunts me for life, and every day I can't sleep. I stay up. My mom gotta come at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning in my room while you're not sleeping, because I'm traumatized of what y'all did to me.
And this is a policy that doesn't apply to all New Yorkers equally.
92% of the people who commit gun crimes are African American or Latino. That's the unfortunate stat.
Nearly 90% of the people who are stopped on the streets by the NYPD and doing nothing wrong are Black or Latino. That's crazy.
The demonization of young Black men of color must stop. Stop, stop, stop.
I was in my building, and the cops came through the back door, and they asked me, did I live in a building? And I told them I live upstairs. They went upstairs to check where I live at, and they spoke to my grandmother, and they came back downstairs. They came back downstairs, and they still locked me up, even though I lived in the building.
What were you doing?
I was just sitting in the hallway, in my grandmother's hallway, and they locked me up for being in my own building, saying I was trespassing. Well, right now, following up, I have to go to Internal Affairs on Rector Street to follow up with the complaint. I had got arrested, and the cops had beat me up. They had police brutality, and I had made a complaint about it, so I got to follow up about it.
They stop people all the time. They stop me a couple of times. I get upset with them. You see where my pants are? You don't see my butt.
Were you talking about the cops?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's right. They're necessarily doing things that shouldn't be done.
Stop their quota, that's all.
But you got to realize they're doing the quota.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't, if I got my pants hanging off me, and I walk around looking like a hooligan, then I'm giving you probable cause.
Yeah.
But if I come out looking like you, my pants...
But you got to look at the other end of it. They're here for protection. Whether your pants hanging off your butt or not, they're here for protection, and you should be. I look at it like this.
No, I'm good with the protection.
You should be saying, oh, well, "I'm glad they're here." Then I know they deter whatever the hell's going to happen.
I'm glad that they're here, but the thing is this: you know who's out here doing what.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist.
But then, do you need to be out here doing to stop them from what they're doing instead of the police doing what they're doing? Should do. Listen to what I'm saying now.
I understand.
Would you want to be out here doing what the police should be doing?
They wasn't out here when that boy pulled that gun on me when I came out the building.
Hey, a guy pulled a gun on me over there. They wasn't there. So,
you see, this is the Civilian Complaint Review Board, 40 Rector Street.
CCRB.
I make complaints when every time they harass me. When the police harass me, I make a complaint to 40 Rector Street to the Internal Affairs. And I report them anytime they do something that they're not supposed to do to me.
Are you in school or working?
No. That's another reason when they ask me like, oh, you in school? What are you doing with your free time? They be like, they feel like I'm not doing anything positive with my free time, so that gives them more of a reason to harass me and to stop and frisk me. She has asthma and she's an elderly person, so anytime when she gets worried, she gets like her asthma and stuff because when they harass me, she don't know if they're gonna arrest me, beat me up, or what they would do to me. So she gets worried, and she starts to cry. She starts using her inhaler, keep using her inhaler because her asthma starts to bother her. When they had beat me up in front of you that day, how you have felt about it?
A morir.
You wanted to die?
A morir. Me sentía morir. Porque me dieran a mí, te dejaran a ti, me dieran a mí.
She said I could translate it. She said she wanted them to leave me alone and for them to do it to her. She said she wanted them to leave me alone because she saw they kept beating me up and the way I was bleeding, and she wanted them to do it to her, for them to leave me alone.
What is the difference between Brooklyn, Brownsville, or Brownsville, Brooklyn, however you want to put it, and let's just say Garden City, Long Island? You know what the difference is? Money and resources.
You don't see this happening in Bensonhurst. This is not going on in Bay Ridge.
I've never had a problem with them personally, so I think that the police in New York City are doing a pretty good job.
Are you familiar with the stop and freeze policy?
Stop and freeze?
Policy, yeah.
No.
Stop and frisk?
Oh, stop and frisk. Okay. I don't. When the cops say that to someone,
Yeah,
know
and-
if they're.
Anything to get guns off the street, I'm for.
You actually support that policy?
I do support it. I've never been I mean, I've gotten tickets before, you know, stuff like that, but I've never been stopped other than that, really.
Brownsville, Crown Heights, Bed-Stuy, Harlem, Bronx. This is all that's happening here in these neighborhoods, man, where there's no money, you understand? People that need jobs. What they need to do is get these young people some jobs, and maybe they can leave us alone. Thank you very much.
I think that what it does, it creates an atmosphere of hostility, and it kind of like causes some type of breach in trust, because as one student told me last year, he says, you know, on my way to school, the cops stop me. Then when I come here, you're on my case about following rules, why am I late? So it's kind of like whatever goes on before they get into the building, they bring it and they, you know, project it onto us. So it definitely has an impact.
I have a daughter that's 1 year old. She turned 1 February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. And she really means a lot to me. So when the cops do these things to me, and then I got arrested on the 14th, the day before her birthday, then I was wanted to be home the 15th, and it was all for nothing. All for nothing when I could have been home with my daughter.
It's like if a cop keeps stop me every day and making me feel like a criminal, I'm gonna turn into a criminal, because I might as well. You treat me like one, so I might as well be a criminal. Like, that's like you got your girlfriend, you telling your girlfriend, oh, you're a cheater, you're a cheater. She might as well cheat if you're gonna tell her that every day. You know what I'm saying? You tell somebody something every day, you might as well do it. You know what I mean? You're getting accused for something you didn't do, so you might as well do it, so when you do get accused, you'll feel much better about yourself.
Why do you support the stop and frisk policy?
Because it works. When I say it works, it gets guns off the street. We got over 800 guns per year off the street. Now we can wait. We can wait until Sadie Hawkins, a 90-year-old grandmother, gets shot in her house watching TV. We can wait until Zorana Horton, who mother of 12, shot while defending her kids or protecting her kids just recently. We can wait till that happens, and then we can go track down those gunmen, and we can look at the video and try to find them and then say, you know, bad gunman. It's the only way to get that gun before the shooting happens.
Councilmember Vallone, I think, ought to take a look at the statistics. And anybody who tells me that 1 in 650 success rate is an effective way of getting guns off the street is operating in a very bizarre reality. This is one of the most ineffective, inefficient programs if that's the goal. If the goal is getting guns off the street, then a success rate of 0.15% is an abysmal failure.
One of the things Ray Kelly said at my hearing the other day, which I've been saying for a while now, is if you have an alternative, let us know. And nobody does.
It's far more effective to just have a buyback program. You get a lot more guns that way. Let's spend the precious policing resources that we have in building relationships, in community policing, where police officers are on the beat, where they hold community forums and they engage in problem solving.
Bottom line, a leader is someone whose best interest is for the people. Sacrificing something essential to life in any way at any level is to falsely lead. Strength is not about aggression, but compassion. integrity, and courage. To the people, life is a choice. We can allow ourselves to be defeated or discover our real strength, infinite possibilities. So what can we do? No fathers, broken families. The ones hardest to love are the ones that need it the most. The police will never get anywhere trying to take guns, alienating these people. Yes, maybe stop some crimes and murders, but it will continue. What we have to do is go to the root of it. Provide communities with better centers and schools with open arms, unconditionally loving, patient members looking to help. Punishing people living in this reality perpetuates the madness. If anyone really wants to help, we first have to model ourselves as the change we want to see and act.
We hope you enjoyed those films. Don't forget to keep submitting your own.
Now we've got a movie to watch. Pass the popcorn.
Until next time. Keep it cool.
Keep it real. Keep it BK for real.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at breakartsmedia.org/BIT.